the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And a roll call, please.
Wonderjum.
Here.
Ivor.
Here.
Steffes.
Here.
Gardine. Here. Palmer. Here. DeHaan.
Here.
Klein.
Here.
Hi.
Thank
Full
you.
house.
So nice to see everybody. Please note as a courtesy to members of our audience and the Board of Education to silence your cell phone. Public will only be able to speak during public comment if signed up. I have one comment card. Any others? All right, moving on. Can I get a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved. Support.
All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? Excellent. Moving on to our consent action agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. And moving to our regular action agenda. Our first item is the PACE parent representatives. It is recommended the Board of Education, of course, sorry, gotta flip my own page. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve Mrs. Jen Wally, Grandview parent, and Mrs. Ashley Bodian, South parent, for new 3-year terms as parent representatives on PACE, the parent advisors for special education. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Sure, and this is a great committee, and we have some great representation here. Both people very active and very supportive of their respective buildings that their students are in. Jen has a 6th grader. Ashley is a parent of a kindergartner. And also they will join Lindsay Klockner, who has been a PACE representative for Grandville for some time. So very excited. We get 3 representatives, and we have 3 representatives, and that hasn't always been the case. So very excited to have full representation from Grandville Public Schools.
I'm trying to think, when's the last time we had a full slate?
Right. It's been
Oh,
a while.
really? It's something that we don't.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think since I've been on the board.
say 15, 16 years.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
I know he comes up, but I didn't
Oh,
realize we
yeah.
were always
Right.
shy.
How many do we
up here.
typically have?
Been a-
One?
One.
Two?
Right.
We're lucky to have one.
We're lucky to have one.
Yeah.
Is it a big time commitment, would you say? It's
No,
duties?
it's more of, depending on the disability that you have, the desire to help others, and the frustration you feel going through the system. So the more frustration you have, the more, most of these people do not, they either want to be a voice and an advocate for somebody, and or they don't want what they had to go through, they don't want other parents to have to do it. So it's the common parental stress point. So we're lucky.
Yeah, we-
Nice
that's
job,
awesome
Ron.
news. Good job.
Thank you, Carolyn. She's not here, but thank you for finding these people. Did she find them, or did they step up?
They stepped up. She had some conversation with them through some other things they were doing, and said, you know, we'd really love to have some input. We think you'd be great. She had worked with our administrators at the respective buildings, and yeah, had that
Cool.
conversation.
Region 3 used to be the strongest, and let's hope Region 3 can make that happen again.
Right.
Excellent. All right. Any more questions or comment?
No?
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Our next regular action item agenda is mobile device management renewal. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the purchase of 2,300 Cisco Meraki System Manager licenses from CDWG at a cost of $92,000. This cost is for a 3-year license. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Support.
And we'll turn things over to Walt, and he'll give you an update on this.
Yeah, so this is, it's been a while since I've brought this to you guys for renewal. Back when we renewed this last time, it was a 5-year agreement, so it's been a little while since we've needed to renew this licensing. This year, or this time, we're looking at a 3-year license. This is the licensing for the mobile device management system, is what MDM stands for. Allows the district to manage iPads, so we still have iPads in our K through 2 classrooms. So it allows us to not only just lock down settings that students shouldn't be messing with on the device, but it also allows us to push out apps to those devices So I work with Scott Merkel and the teachers, and they'll, say, oh, this app is really great. And so then it allows us to buy, the hundreds or thousands sometimes licenses for the devices and then automatically push them out based on grade level or even down to classroom level.
What was our previous rate? I know it was 5 years.
It was 5 years. I will say it was a little bit cheaper than this. That was not only because we did a 5-year renewal last time, but also the price has gone up since those 5 years. I'm sorry, I don't have that exact number off the top of my head, but it did go up a little bit.
Did we look at 5-year again, or they don't allow it?
We did. We got a 1 year and a 3-year and a 5-year quote. Heather and I had some discussion budgetary-wise, and we were comfortable with doing a 3-year renewal this time.
All right. I mean, if it went up a little, I think it was probably 32 or 36.
It was, it wasn't a horrible increase, but as with everything these days, it's
Right.
gone up a little bit.
Got it.
But obviously, we are still getting a multi-year discount going with the 3-year license versus.
How, do you ever use their support services, or is this stuff pretty locked down for a management perspective for you guys?
As far as like contacting Meraki and asking for support when something goes
How
wrong?
often do you do that, or you don't really need to do it?
Fairly often. Well, shouldn't say fairly often, but at least, I don't know, once every few months, there's something, because the system not only talks with our devices, but it also talks with Apple, because Apple is pretty, walled garden as far as how they manage their devices. So there's a lot of things that need to talk together to make that system work. So we do
Got it.
rely on their support.
Okay. Apple's always the more difficult child.
It's a true blessing.
IT
I used to
relationship.
work to manage them before we had Meraki, and
Yeah.
it was
Oh.
a hand management
Yeah.
deal. It was,
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so this system makes that process a lot
Yeah.
easier and
Okay,
streamlined.
and
Yeah.
this is 92 for 3 years.
Correct, yep.
Got it.
Do they have any improved features on?
So they are actually always adding features as far as being able to do things like, group devices in different ways that make it more flexible. As Apple adds more features, with your iPhone, they're always coming out with new features. Same thing with the iPad. Meraki then is very good about updating their management system to also take advantage of those features, or in some cases lock them down if it's something we don't want our students to have access to.
Do they have any features where teachers can look at the screens from one device?
So that's a feature that isn't included in this particular product. It is something that's offered in, it's not necessarily an MDM product, it's more like a classroom management product. It's something that we've trialed at the Chromebook level. We haven't yet looked at doing that at the elementary level for the iPads.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right. Take a roll call, please.
Gardine,
Yes.
DeHaan,
Yes.
Palmer, yes. Stefas,
Yes.
Wonderja,
Yes.
Hybor,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
All in favor?
All right. Motion carries. Thank you so much, Walt, for working on that. And on to reports and discussions.
Yes, just thought I'd give you some more information on back to school as we're getting closer. Hires, as John mentioned earlier, and you can see on our list here, we have several, and very excited about the people that we've hired, and I think they're going to bring a lot to our teams that we have. Joe Scotto, you can see at the top here, the Grandville principal. We'll have him come in very soon, so you can meet him. He's on the job and quite busy, I know.
Did he come from another
Allegan.
district?
He was in
Okay.
Allegan,
Okay.
was principal for there in Allegan for time. So, yeah, very excited about having him. You can see we have, as I mentioned, a variety of people here, and we're very excited. We have a great process that includes a lot of people and helps us get the very best hires possible. So we're very excited about that. Construction, a lot going on still. We're wrapping up the 7-8 building, and it's really looking nice. I'm so excited for everyone to see that, which we will very soon. If you've been by the high school, you've seen some green trim turning maroon, which is good and exciting as well. We have a lot of carpet at the high school that was installed, and a variety of other things in other buildings that I think is going to take shape and put some nice additions to stuff that we already have. The old middle school, which we'll have a name for hopefully soon. We're going to have a process for naming that new 5-6 building. That is, they're hard at it with that too, and we've seen some of the changes that will be taking place that we're really excited about. I think it's going to be another really special building. A lot of the stuff from the previous bond, we're trying to maintain that, while at the same time, as you know, there was a lot of still the old stuff there, and that's being taken care of, and we're really trying to do a few things to customize some, down to a 5-6 level, a little more, but very excited about that.
Is there anything going on in the building other than
Yes.
construction?
Very little, but
Okay.
we are able to use some of the offices. So Brian will be there for most of the year unless they tell him he can't be. And we have a few other services, people that will be using some of those smaller offices in that office area in the back there. But other than that, no, we've shut the interior part because there's a lot that has to be done. The pool's being gutted and new stuff put in for that as well.
Nice.
So
Well, community ed, they won't move in until the building.
Later,
The
right.
whole building's
yeah,
done.
yeah, because
They
we have to
won't move in
redo some
first.
stuff there, including
Is that-
some of the old locker room spaces they had there. We're creating some rooms for some community ed classes there. So that will be converted. And the out back, we're creating new locker rooms, team rooms, et cetera, that people will be able to use when they're there.
Will that be a separate building then?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. That'll be out back in.
My family was just talking about that on vacation
Yeah.
this week, so.
Yeah, that'll be a huge benefit too for Calvin
Yeah.
Christian, who uses that field on a regular basis too. So, but it'll be a nice facility as well.
Will most of those rooms that are, kind of facing the Wilson there, will most of those classrooms basically stay intact? Or do they get expanded, changed up?
There'll be some, a little expansion. The outside of those, well, the outside and the inside, a lot of that glass and trim and so on, we have to reconstruct some of that, and when we do that, it will make classrooms just a little bit larger and a lot more up to date.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff you can't renovate because you just can't renovate it. You have to change it
Can
totally.
you speak to the pool? I guess are
Yeah.
we taking it out?
No,
Okay.
we're changing the guts, if you will, that operate, the heating, the air, all the stuff that with the flow there, I believe diving board, giving it a fresh look. That was in, you may recall, part of the bond, we had the natatorium, but we also, in case the natatorium did not pass, we had a piece built in
I forgot
as a
that,
plan B
to
should
make
that
sure
fail.
that would be
And that's,
okay.
and that's the part that we're working on. We
So
did
they'll-
that at the high school, and now we're doing some of that work with the pool there. And with community ed being there in the future, it'll be nice. They'll be able to do a lot more coordination with community ed in the classes and keep that separate from the school population.
Roger, is that the original pool, or is that, I don't have. it.
Yeah, original to that, when it was,
Really? When it was in the
high school.
Wow.
Yeah, sure
It's
is.
sturdy.
We
Little pool.
redid the
I took ground proofing
there.
upper area, the windows and the ventilation up there 18 years ago, I think.
So, yeah.
But
Yeah.
other than that,
It's amazing.
that and scoreboard and bleachers, we haven't
Yeah.
done anything else at that pool.
Remember, we used to have a high dive in there?
Oh, yeah. I went off from it.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah.
picture
Get next
next
to
two
you.
guys up
You
there.
should go in, Brent, and just get a tile, just take one of the old tiles out.
There
Just
you
get in
go.
that canoe and they'd flip you
Yellow.
over. and everything.
Yellow tile.
Get a yellow
Drown
tile.
anything.
You can put it
All
on the
right.
necklace.
Ribbon cutting's coming up. Just a reminder, the ceremony for that, the ribbon cutting open house is August 15th at 6 p.m. at the new middle school. Would also like to thank First Reformed Church. They were at East last week. I sent you some pictures. Just really cool. They're doing a lot of things in the community, and they reached out to East, and Mrs. Waldy said, we could really use some color and sprucing up of our area around our playground. So they have a lot of really cool stuff there. So you get a chance to see that, a lot of learning things and a lot of motor skill things and games and so on all around. So
And they're a person who's coordinating a lot of the community outreach stuff. Her and I have a date to talk, so if there's anything that you feel strongly that they could help with in the community, let me know.
In the schools or in the community? I guess
In the
both.
schools, in the
Okay.
community,
Okay.
both.
Yeah.
She's
I
just
just
serving
wanted specific
individuals
area.
around the community to find out. So if there's something that you have in your mind, give me a
Yeah.
holler and I'll add to the list.
There you go.
okay. Also, we have a robotics legislative luncheon on August 16th. That was going to be on the 14th, but the fire marshal's coming that day, so we couldn't do things before the fire marshal goes through the building and gives us the okay. So that will be on August 16th at 10:15.
Were you able to get those folks rescheduled to be able to come in?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes, some of them are, the same ones who were going to come are still coming on.
Who's all coming?
That Wednesday. Oh, geez, I have to look. There's, I think, Huizinga, Carol Glanville, maybe Winnie Brinks. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who else, but they're probably
You
about
probably
4
could
or
keep
5.
changing it on a daily basis, and if they can get a photo op, they're gonna do it.
For sure.
There you go. But anyway, it'll be good for them. The goal initially was, our kids will be, a lot of our kids who are on state championship teams will be competing that day or demonstrating competition. It's to give them an understanding of what robotics does and what high-level robotics is. So when they're in Lansing talking about funding and grants and a variety, so on, they at least have an idea, because some of the dialogue that Doug had, he talked to Huizinga, and he said, we really don't have any, we hear about it, but we don't have an idea. And so they tried to set that up so some people could come in and take a look. And
Is
and
Doug got
they-
the TV guys coming?
Oh, we already did
We've
that.
been there.
We did the
Yeah,
TV
there's been
guys already,
several great
yeah.
stories,
We
yeah.
did that piece. They,
That's super.
somebody will probably be there from that group as well, but should be a good day. The kids will sit with legislators, and the kids will have conversation about what they do, what they've learned, and all that, so that hopefully they glean some understanding of what robotics is.
Yes.
So should be a great event.
Back. Board members there?
I'll be there.
You're able to
Yeah,
attend,
no,
Kim?
no, you're
Okay.
gonna be there, but yeah, and same, so obviously with the ribbon cutting and the back-to-school breakfast is my next thing, so good segue. August 17th at 7:30, we have breakfast. Love to have you if you can be there, and we'll have the breakfast and then move into the auditorium for our kickoff there, and then obviously August 21st, school begins. Can't wait. It's like Christmas for me. I love that time.
Did you
Getting
say 7?
everybody back in. 7:30 a.m.
7:38.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, and that's all I have for now.
That's wonderful.
It's a
Could
lot of
keep
good
going.
stuff.
That's it?
That's it?
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have something for
football
18th,
game?
19th, 20th?
What's that?
You had something for, 15, 16, 17, let's go to 18th.
Oh,
19th,
yeah, we
20th.
have stuff.
Still.
I'm sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Is it the next?
Following week. yeah.
August 24th.
August
Yeah.
20th.
Say.
It's a Thursday.
Okay. Is that away?
It's home.
It's
It's
home.
Grandville.
Yeah, that's
Mike?
the
Well, 'cause
first.
sometimes we go away that first game.
Are the first couple of home this year? Or?
First one is home, the second one is at
Davison.
Or Davison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Should be-
Wow, I cannot
It's a
even.
good contest.
That
Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Both of them are, the first two games are both Thursdays
Okay.
for the varsity, and Wednesdays for the freshmen and JV.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Looking
that's
forward
it.
to all of it. Thank you for the
Yeah,
update.
thank you.
At this time, we're moving to public comment. Just a reminder, all of our rules for public comment are on the back of the forms here. Basically, you get 5 minutes to speak. At 4 minutes, Mr. Hybor will give a 1-minute warning. at which time you need to wrap up your comments. The comments are to the board, so if you could please make sure the statements are towards us and also about information that's germane to the board. Also, if you are going to speak about anything that might violate the rights of others under the laws of defamation or invasion of privacy, please consult with your legal advisor before speaking. That being said, Mr. Traxler, you are our sole speaker this evening.
Hello, my name is Alan Traxler. I was here on July 17th, and I said I would be back. I'm back, and I'm here to ask you, Mr. Wonder Jim, did you read the textbooks that were provided to you? I'm giving my chance, I know this is public comment time, but I am asking for your nod or shake of your head. Did you read the textbook? I will ask a third time. While I recognize it's public speaking time, you have my permission to respond. Not just my permission, but I'm asking, did you read the textbook? Well, there's no response. Mr. Wonder Jim has not nodded. He has not shaken his head. He has not deigned to reply. But I'm wondering, did you read the textbook? Did you look at the maps, the charts, the PDFs? Because you voted to table it. You proposed that. I didn't think it was appropriate then, and I think it's in poor taste that you would not review it if you felt that strongly. You felt strongly enough to table it, to delay the adoption of the social studies materials, but will not answer me if you've actually looked them over. I think that belies something. Mr. DeHaan, did you read the textbook? It was provided to the board. Ms. Steffes, did you read the textbook? Okay, I'm seeing a shrug, I'm seeing a shake of the head. I think if you voted to delay, you've still got these. You should take the time, look them over. There's objections to, specifically named, the 1619 project. I think those concerns are overblown, unwarranted, and belie a hysteria going around in conservative circles. I have here a book called Don't Know Much About History, 30th edition by Kenneth C. Davis. I've been reading this. I'm currently in the FDR era. And I'm wondering, if we look at American history, when Christopher Columbus came over to the Caribbean islands and began enslaving natives immediately, is that critical race theory? Is that something you're concerned about? Are you worried that sentence would be said? His behavior was so atrocious, it shocked other Europeans, and they told him to knock it off. This is documented. He was awful to the natives. Is that critical race theory? Leading up to the revolution, we imported slaves. Is talking about the sheer numbers that we imported, is that critical race theory? Is a critical race theory when we mention what products the slaves grew, what they harvested, the labor they put into the country? Is that critical race theory? It's something worth thinking about. Is your objections only based on ideology, or is it the way in which history is presented? I don't know. I don't have the answers for you, but it's worth thinking about. Because there's a lot that my history class didn't cover. I know history is broad, but I think there are some subject teachers dare not broach because it is controversial, yet accurate. When slavery was paused, the import of slavery was paused.
1 minute.
There was a period of time where breeding slaves, and I hate to use that word, I'm sorry, I can't phrase it better, but there was a program to produce more slaves because slave cutters didn't want new imports cutting into their markets. It was more expensive for them. Actually, they were being undercut by new slaves coming in. Is talking about this critical race theory? I think it'd raise your hackles if it was talked about. I have more to say. I'll be back next board meeting to talk more about this book and steps through history and ask you questions that you will not answer. Good evening.
This concludes the public comment section of our evening. The next regular board meeting of the Grandville Board of Education will be on Monday, August 21st, 2023. It was our first day of our school year at 7 p.m. here at the Administration Building. This meeting is adjourned.